Yo, Nick from BioGear, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to be trying to answer a question I've been asked quite a bit, which is, should I go leather or should I go nylon when purchasing a new Tumi bag? So let's see if I can get you an answer. Okay, so what you see here on the desk is a Tumi Alpha Bravo Nomadic backpack in black nylon, and a Tumi Alpha Bravo Navigation backpack in black leather. I did used to have a black nylon navigation and search. I've since sold them for this new material called Dynamic Stitch. We'll get into this later. This is an awesome material though. Yeah, so commonly being asked, do I go nylon or do I go leather when I'm purchasing a new Tumi bag? They're both really good materials, but they definitely have different use cases and they kind of suit a different style or desire better, one over the other. So the nylon is a good material. This is what Tumi's been using and probably known for a very long time, of using a good, nice, sturdy nylon material in all their bags. But the problem is that as nice as these nylons have been, which nowadays they're a little less sturdy because they're recycled, I'm assuming. All the new Alpha Bravo bags seem to be made out of recycled nylons, which is fine as long as the quality doesn't diminish, but they're not as sturdy as they used to be on their own. Like grabbing any form of just nylon part of this bag tends to kind of be manipulated very easily and scrunched very easily. And that I don't like. But any part of the bag like this back here, which I'm squeezing on quite hard, that has a lot of foam and rigid paneling inside of it and its design, tends to be very strong. So any nylon bag that you buy typically needs to be a strong bag covered in nylon first. Like the design has to have harder paneling and whatnot, which a lot of the Alpha Bravos tend to have nowadays, with the exception of a couple. But overall, this material is a good material. It will hold up to scrapes, it'll hold up to dirt, weather, and whatnot quite well. And when you get a 5-year warranty out of these bags brand new, as you should, you kind of want it to just last a long time, and these do. I've never had a Tumi bag get ripped up, but then I don't subject them to situations where they're going to get destroyed or ripped up anyway, and that's one thing I would recommend that you practice. But yeah, overall the nylon's a good material, but in some instances, such as like with the search and the navigation, like this front paneling here wasn't super padded or anything whenever they made the search and the navigation in black nylon. So this top panel here, I complained in my video over the search that it would cave in on itself and it looked like crap. So I'm not really into any kind of bag where they don't properly give it structure and support and rigidity over just using a certain material. It just doesn't make sense to me to buy an expensive bag if it's just gonna fall in on itself or even fall off a desk, which I've had happen before. Not so much on the search, but just this top area here in front paneling, it just kind of looked like crap whenever it would just wrinkle in on itself and whatnot. So yeah, the leather does solve a majority of that problem. Not all of it. It's still kind of in the middle of what would be gold standard and C grade, to where you can still manipulate the paneling by pushing on it and whatnot, but it's not as bad. It tends to want to snap back to its initial design shape and whatnot, which is nice, but there is something kind of odd about it. On this particular bag that I'm holding here, and in the few that I've seen in person, this pocket tends to kind of like lean to the side, because one side here is very hard because it's got this waterproof coating on the inside of it. So it gives it this extra strength while the other side does not. And so it tends to try and stand straighter, and it pulls the pocket in and makes it at this weird angle. Now that's not much of a problem. I can straighten it out just by pulling on the pocket a little bit. And that can be done by even putting a hoodie in here. If you constantly use the main compartment, it'll straighten itself out a little bit. But it's just kind of weird that that's a thing, as well as I've got like this little bump up here in the stitching that'll never go away because of how I guess the stitching is done to the leather. And it's just not, $750 nice kind of design there. But overall though, the leather is a nice material. It is leather. Don't buy this bag if you're expecting to beat it up or abuse it or scratch it, because it will look like crap, unless that's your intent, that you want it to take on all the scuffs and stuff of your journey. That is totally a thing. I don't get it. I like everything looking new, but patina is a thing and it's a desired trait in a bag. So with that being said, the search and the navigation that come in leather are good options. I think they're better options than the nylon if you're just looking at beating up the bag. But ultimately, every once in a while, Tumi comes out with a new fabric that is just awesome. This is Dynamic Stitch. This is a type of quilted but very stiff fabric that they came out with just recently. I have since replaced my navigation and my search in this new material. And it kind of solves a lot of the problems I hated about the nylon bags. And I had both these bags in nylon. I sold them both because I just didn't really enjoy using them. They'd cave in on themselves and kind of look like a trash bag, and I can't stand that. But this new material is rock solid hard, and it alone has made me enjoy using the Surge a ton. This has become an absolutely incredible bag for me. And then this little guy here I ended up taking on a trip to Alaska just recently. Did absolutely flawless the entire time. And I cannot recommend this material enough alone, just because of how plush and thick and hard it is to manipulate this bag outside of actually like stepping on it or grabbing it like a barbarian or something like that when it has a handle on it. But yeah, this material is just an absolute A grade. The old reflective material that Tumi uses every now and then, I had seen it during like the Knox days as well. That material is also rock solid and just gives you a really presentable bag. But like I said, they just, anytime they come out with a bag and it's not fully structured, the nylon will show its weaknesses, which is kind of lame that it'll do that. But the leather tends to cover up some of that weakness and some of the design just because it's a little stiffer of a fabric. But you are risking having, you have to take care of the bag, you have to clean it, and it can patina, it can scratch. And that's just part of it if you're enjoying that. But if you just want it to look like this all the time, you might be discouraged from using it on a lot of days because, it's going to be a busy day. I may scratch this thing up a little bit. I don't want to do that. So, whereas on the nylon, you can just put this thing through rain, shine, or hell. It's going to do what it's needed to do. Same with this. But yeah, hopefully that answers some of your questions here. Definitely recommend any of these harder fabrics. I know it's hard to predict which ones are going to be good or to even go to a store and actually put your hands on them sometimes, but as far as video goes, Dynamic Stitch is where it's at right now. This stuff is amazing. Leather is also a great option, and nylon just kind of depends on the bag, but this Navigation and a few other ones I did a review on, minus like the Surge, really good options in nylon. So if you are looking for Voyager bags though, which is the women's line, those bags are very soft and very malleable. They don't have much of this structuring or paneling inside of them. So even if you go leather or you go like with the nylon on the Voyager stuff, it's going to be a floppy bag, and that's just kind of how they are. My mom's got one. I've seen a few in store. It's just they're not very strong, rigid bags. So that is one thing for you to be advised of if you are a lady or looking for that type of bag. Be advised that those bags do flop a lot, which may be something you're into. It's just, yeah, they're not as solid as this whole material conversation that we're having about it. Past that though, Harrison bags, usually all A1. Harrison materials are really good. So you'll never go wrong with getting a Harrison bag if you ask me. Past that though, yeah. Any questions? Post them down in the comment section below. Thank you guys for tuning in and for the support. Catch you next one.